40% of men over 70 are walking around with a genetic time bomb that could be killing them 5 years earlier than women. You've heard the usual excuses: risk-taking, avoiding doctors. But what if the real killer is hidden in your DNA? Stick with me, because what you're about to learn could literally save your life. Here's the alarming truth. In America, men are dying over 5 years younger than women, and that gap isn't closing. But what if those are just surface-level symptoms? What if the real reason is buried deep in your DNA, a hidden flaw that's been quietly shortening men's lives for generations? Cutting-edge science now reveals that men are born with a genetic disadvantage that could be shaving years off their lives, no matter how careful they are. But that's just the first half of the story. What's happening to your Y chromosome right now could be even more dangerous, and most men have no idea it's happening. Let's dive in. Here's something most men never hear from their doctor. Your fate might be sealed before you're even born. Ready for a genetic shocker? This story starts with the code of life itself, our chromosomes. Females have 2 X chromosomes while males have 1 X and 1 much smaller Y chromosome. You can think of it as having a genetic backup. The X chromosome is a library of essential genes that regulate things like immunity and cell repair. If a woman has a harmful mutation on 1 X chromosome, her cells often have a healthy copy on the other to fall back on. She has a spare. Men don't get that luxury. With only 1 X chromosome, any dangerous gene they inherit on it is fully exposed with no backup. This unguarded XE hypothesis helps explain why men are more susceptible to a whole range of genetic conditions. Right from the start, the genetic deck is stacked a little differently, giving women a biological resilience that men simply don't have. But that's just the first half of the story. What's happening to your Y chromosome right now could be even more dangerous, and most men have no idea it's happening. Let's dive in. Let's take a moment. Before you do anything else, ask yourself, when was your last heart checkup? Because what I'm about to reveal about your Y chromosome could be the difference between living to 75 or 85, but the X chromosome is only half of the genetic story. New research points to the Y chromosome itself as a key player in this drama. As men get older, a surprising number of them start to lose the Y chromosome in some of their cells. It's a process called mosaic loss of Y, and it's not just a harmless quirk of aging, it has serious consequences. Scientists have found a direct link between losing the Y chromosome and a higher risk of heart muscle scarring, which can lead to deadly heart failure. This isn't a rare condition. An estimated 40% of men show signs of this loss by age 70. This single factor could be responsible for a big part of the longevity gap. On top of that, men have lower levels of estrogen, a hormone that helps protect the cardiovascular system. This is a major reason why men are more likely to die from heart disease, which is the leading cause of death for both sexes. And if you think genetics is the whole story, wait until you see how your daily habits might be speeding up the clock even more. Here's the heartbreaking truth no one talks about. Men aren't just dying from their genes, they're dying from their pride, and the numbers are disturbing. Of course, genes are only the hardware we're born with. That hardware is profoundly affected by the software we run, our behaviors, habits, and the pressures we face from society. And this is where the gap gets even wider. Statistically, men are more likely to smoke and drink excessively. They are also far less likely to go for routine medical checkups and health screenings. This isn't just about being stubborn, it's often tied to cultural pressures that discourage men from showing vulnerability or asking for help. This reluctance means diseases are often caught at a later, more dangerous stage. Nowhere is this pattern more tragic than in mental health. Men die by suicide at a rate nearly 4 times that of women, often due to untreated depression and the powerful stigma around seeking help. Our biology may set the stage, but our behaviors can end up writing the final act. If you're still watching, you're probably thinking, is there any hope? Absolutely. Here's how you can rewrite your story, starting today, in less than 30 minutes a week. This might all sound pretty grim, but it's not a life sentence. Understanding why men die younger is the key to doing something about it. The science is clear. Lifestyle changes can make a massive difference, helping to push back against both biological and behavioral risks. First, know your numbers. Make regular doctor's visits a non-negotiable part of your routine. Keep track of your blood pressure, cholesterol, and blood sugar. Catching problems early is one of the most powerful weapons we have against chronic disease. Second, fortify your body. Eating a nutrient-rich diet and getting regular exercise are critical for heart health. directly fighting the cardiovascular risks that men face at a higher rate. Third, build your team. Loneliness and isolation can be silent killers. Nurture your friendships and social connections, and most importantly, let's normalize asking for help with mental health. It's a sign of strength, not a weakness. But there's one more secret every man over 55 needs to know. A common breakfast food that could be destroying your testosterone and making everything I just talked about 10 times worse. I'll reveal it in my next video, so make sure you don't miss out. What's one health habit you're ready to change for yourself or the men you care about? Drop it in the comments. You might inspire someone else to make a life-saving choice. And don't forget to subscribe, because next week I'm exposing the hidden testosterone killer lurking in your kitchen. You won't want to miss it. Remember, your DNA isn't your destiny. But there's one hormone that controls everything we just discussed, and most men over 55 are unknowingly sabotaging it every morning at breakfast. Don't miss my next video, where I reveal exactly what it is and how to protect yourself.